going to use the calculator to solve some equations. So we'll use the equation editor for the first one. So you can either press A, the little red A, or you can go to equation execute. So at the top of the screen, it shows you the format of the equation that you need. So we need to put in the coefficients. So I've got 2x squared plus 5x and minus 6. And that equals 0. So I've already arranged the equation like that to match. And then I can press F1 for solve or execute. And it gives us the answers. You can see it rounded to a decimal there, but also you can go up and down on the keyboard and you can see the two different answers in exact form. If you solve graphically, it doesn't give the exact form. So this is great for that. So I'm now going to do simultaneous equations. So I just kept pressing exit until I get back to this screen. And we've got F1 is simultaneous equations. So I'll press that and I've got two unknowns. So the equations have to be in the form ax plus by equals c. Okay, where x and y are the variables. So I've got 1x plus 2y is equal to -1. And then I've got 0.2x plus 1.2y is equal to 0.2. Okay, and then I can execute or press solve, and there are my two solutions. So this only works for linear systems of equations. If you want to solve other simultaneous equations, for example, quadratic and a linear, then you would use a graph. So I'll show you that in a bit, in a different video. There's another way of solving any equation in one variable. If you go back to menu, and I'm going to the run matrix, the basic normal calculation menu. So that's menu 1. So if you press the options button, which is right next to the shift at the top, you can see we've got lots of different menus, and we're going to go with the calc menu. And at the left it says solve, but that only gives one solution. At the right it says solve n, so I'm going to press F5 for solve n. I then type in my equation. So I've got an equation 8 over x. Now always use the x next to the alpha. So x plus 1 in the denominator. And that is equal to another phrase. So to find equals, you press shift and then the decimal point button. And that equals 8 minus 6x. Okay, so I've given it an equation, but I have to say what letter I'm using as my variable. So I type in x for that, and then I'm going to end my brackets. So it's going to give me a warning, because it always does. Always says there might be more solutions. I just press exit, which is below the menu button. And there I've got my set of solutions. X is 0 and x is 1/3. As another example, this is really great when you've got trig equations. So I'm going to do sine squared x is 0.3. So I press solve n, and then there's no sine squared button, so I'll have to put sine x in brackets. So sine x, and then square it. Okay, and that is equal to, so that's shift decimal point 0.3. Okay, and my variable I've called x. And now, because it's a trig equation, I want to give it my minimum and maximum values. So my minimum value, I'm going to go from 0 to 360. Okay, and then my brackets, I press execute. Give me a warning again. And here are my solutions. Now I can see that this is looking a bit odd. So that's probably because I'm in radians. So if I want to change to degrees, I'm going to go to setup, which is shift menu. So at the top, and then I scroll down until I get to the setting for angles and change it with F1 to degrees and press execute, and then I go back up again and just press execute again. And now I should get my answers in degrees. So I've got 33.2, gives me lots of decimal places, 146.8, 213.2 and 326.8 as well.